Hello, everybody. My name is Sylvana Candela, and I'm a licensed acupuncturist and an author. And I welcome you to my YouTube channel about healing yourself to heal the world. And I'm going to be putting out, this is my first one, I'm going to be putting out a series of videos about how exactly to do that with a different theme. And the theme for this one, for this video, is about healing yourself with unconditional, or as I call it, some people call it sacred love. And in doing that, you're actually healing everybody around you and with a ripple effect because love is an action word. And when we love unconditionally in a sacred way, we are giving in a much deeper, in a much higher way to those around us. That affects very, very deeply our own healing as well as others. Not only are we giving unconditionally without any expectation of return, but it also comes back many, many times over. As the saying goes, it comes back tenfold when you give like that. We've all heard that said, but the question is how to do it. And I have outlined for you today 5 ways that I've discovered work for me in my life and how to do that. And basically how to raise the vibration, your soul's vibration, so that you are able to give unconditionally sacred love. And it's a beautiful journey. And I will start by saying that the first thing you want to do, okay, is to recognize that we have what's also referred to as a sacred wound, okay? And the sacred wound is is the part of your journey that takes you within, that that shows you the way, your way into where? Into your core, into yourself, into your higher self, into your loving self, into your God self. You can call it by whatever name you like, the creator, universe, or just the higher self. I choose to call that part of me my God self, or the connection to God. And one of the ways that we do this with using these 5 different points that I'm going to mention, but there are 3 tools that I like to talk about. Actually, there's quite a few, um, but there's 3 that I'm going to refer to today, and they are um, journaling is one, very important, and um, sharing with another is also very important. That other can be a professional person. It can be a friend, a family member, somebody you trust to share with. And then finally, prayer and meditation. Now, if you just want to do meditation, if you're not into prayer, that's okay. But I'm going to be showing you in subsequent videos different ways of using all those different tools and more. There's more than that too. But those are the basics that I consider the basics. How to use those in different ways that maybe, you haven't thought of before, just to give you some ideas. Things that work for me and people that I've worked with and helped. So, okay, so what are the 5 points? Well, the first one is to recognize and acknowledge our sacred wound. What is that? Even I know that, we all get hurt. We all go through life getting hurt and everything, but there's something inside that no matter what, I just can't get it right, And usually these areas, not always, but usually, they're either to do with love, money, or health. And it's some kind of chronic thing that no matter how hard I try, and no matter what I do, I can't get it right. Okay, it just eludes me, you know. When we tap into that higher self and that loving energy, we're able to discover a lot of things and to heal a lot of things. And this particular sacred wound is the journey, the first part of the journey is to acknowledge what that wound is. The second part is what I call break your heart open. Now, what this means is actually it's about breaking from here or bringing it from your heart to your head, to your conscious mind, because it's in our subconscious always. It's our matrix. It's everything that has made us who we are and given us the challenges in life that we have. Um, but breaking your heart open, which is a way a lot of people refer to it, is really, my understanding is bringing it from the heart to the head and allowing that to surface, allowing that to come up. Why is that so difficult? Because in our society, we are so conditioned to not do that. We're conditioned to, feel better. It hurts, take a pill, take this, take that, eat some ice cream, whatever, there are many ways that we avoid allowing our pain to surface, to come to the conscious level. And breaking your heart open is the second phase, is the second part. Okay? It's acknowledging all of those things. Then the next part is to become willing and ready to do the work that will involve transforming the pain that you've just acknowledged. Why is this? This is also difficult, okay? Doing what I call doing the work, okay? First, we become willing, and then we become ready. It's not always, oh, all right, let's do it. Fine, let's get in touch with all the garbage, and yeah, fine. No, you, and the way that you become again willing and ready is by using those three, basically by using those three tools: prayer and meditation, journaling, and sharing. Those are the biggies, okay? But with a willingness, that knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that it's so worth it. It is so worth the journey to go through the transformation and to feel better and to have everything you've ever wanted that you've never, that's always eluded you with these, with your sacred wound that's caused everything to, stay away. When we make this transition. So that's what the willingness is, recognizing how worth it the journey will be. And with that, you become ready. And that is doing the work. Then, as you go down into this dark place within with all this pain, and it's in your head, and this is the really most painful part. It's about releasing it. And again, with prayer, meditation, journaling, and sharing as the main tools. But keep in mind that you are going to release. And because we're doing this with love, this is all about sacred love. Okay? It's very important to realize the tie-in here with love and releasing our sacred wound is about self-forgiveness and forgiveness of whatever or whoever initially created that matrix within us. So when we recognize that, the way we're able to let go and the way we're able to release is forgiveness with sacred unconditional love. Once we've released all of those things, or one, You just do one thing here. This is our biggie, okay, our core issue. Um, but you can, of course, do it with small things too. So that's why, I'm saying with things, with many things. But we're talking about our core issue here because that's releasing the core issue, working on the core issue is what really allows us to learn how to be able to give sacred love to another as well as ourselves. That's why it's so worth it. Once you've released all that, then the next one, point 5, is about receiving the light. What does that mean? That means that all our lives we've heard this, some of us, I guess, most of us have heard this little voice within that will say, don't do that, don't go there, or do that, go there. And do we listen? No. Why? Because our stuff gets in the way. So it's hard to listen. But once that stuff, that baggage, is moved out, we've evicted it, we've released it, then we're able to hear that voice. Then we can hear it. And this is where prayer, meditation, journaling, and sharing really help. Because the more you meditate, the more you think about it, the more you speak out loud to your creator, your God of your own understanding, or your higher self. Once you do that, you're voicing, you're asking for help and guidance. And it comes. It really, really comes when the student is ready, the teacher appears, as the saying goes. It really happens. And it's really, really amazing. I'd like to give you one of my favorite examples of a movie that I'm sure many of you have seen in one of its many, many, many versions. My favorite version of it is the 1951 Alistair Sim classic of Scrooge, based on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, who was very well aware of what we're talking about and the dark side of human nature and all that. He wrote a lot about that. With Scrooge, he goes through this transformation from being the cranky old whatever that he was, the not very nice guy, to in one night, visited by three spirits, Christmas Eve, he's transformed into this loving person who, at the very end, who actually becomes a healer. If you recall from the film or the book, he helps Tiny Tim to recover from his malady, to heal. And of course, in this movie, in this story, it all happens overnight. One night, maybe that's asking a little too much. Although maybe some people can, I don't know. I guess there are people who can do it that fast, but for most of us, I would say, it's a layered thing. You're unpeeling layers of the onion to get down there, and it takes a little time. Give yourself the time. You're worth it. You are worth it. Give yourself the time. Um, so I really love that as an example. I really do. And I'd like you to think about, and I'm going to leave you with this thought, during this holiday season of COVID, when so many of us are hurting because we can't do our usual with our families and our loved ones, but we have to curtail something. We have to sacrifice or give up something for the health and of all of us, but especially of those we care about and love. So I'd like you to think about how you can give to somebody you care about during this holiday season in a different way, without the usual getting together, exchanging gifts, doing the dinner and all that other stuff, dinners, parties, and everything else. People are coming up with some pretty creative ways of doing that. And, you can do that. It can be done. Um, so I'd like to invite you to do that, you know, to think about that. One other thing I'd like you to consider also is how do we know when we've given or are giving sacred love to somebody? Well, I'll tell you, it feels amazing. When I have had the opportunity, anytime I do, to give something that I know is going to be truly in the best interest of the other person, truly what the other person needs from me. When somebody I care about deeply needs something from me and I give that person what that person needs, not what I need, but what he or she needs, it feels unbelievably, fantastically amazing. And there's a peace that comes over me and a voice that says, well done. You did well. You did good. There's a definite voice that says that inside of me. I'm proud of you. You did good, you know. And I definitely feel it. And not only that, but then it comes back, like I was saying initially, 10 times over, where I find other people have just start doing these amazing things and wonderful things and healing things. So it becomes like a circle of healing and a circle of love. The more you give, the more you receive, even though that's not why we do it when we do it, but it happens that way anyway. So may I leave you with much love and much healing for this holiday season. And if no one has told you today, may I be the one to tell you, I love you. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful season in COVID of love.